Hello and welcome to Time to Listen English channel. I'm Johnson. Today I want to tell you something that might change the way you think about speaking English. Here it is. Speaking English is easy. Yes, you heard me correctly. Speaking English is easy. But wait, you say, I can't speak. I make mistakes. I freeze when someone talks to me. How can that be easy? Let me explain. The difficulty isn't in the language itself. The difficulty is in your mind. The difficulty is in what you believe about speaking. The difficulty is in the pressure you put on yourself. When you remove that pressure, speaking becomes much easier, much simpler, much more natural. What makes speaking feel hard? Perfection. You believe you need to speak perfectly. Every word correct, every sentence beautiful, every sound exactly like a native speaker. That belief is heavy. That belief is impossible. No one speaks perfectly, not native speakers, not English teachers, not news anchors. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone forgets words. Everyone says the wrong thing sometimes. So why do you expect perfection from yourself? Let go of that expectation. Replace it with a simpler goal, communication. Can the other person understand you? That is success. That is enough. When you aim for communication instead of perfection, speaking becomes much easier. Another thing that makes speaking hard is waiting. You are waiting to speak until you feel ready. You think, I will speak when my vocabulary is bigger. I will speak when my grammar is better. I will speak when I feel confident. That day never comes. You will never feel ready. Ready isn't a feeling you wait for. Ready is a decision you make. Decide to speak today with the English you have right now, not next month, not next year. Today. Your English today is good enough to say something. Hello. Thank you. I like this. Where is the bathroom? That is speaking. That is real. That is enough. Start there. Speaking English isn't a test. You aren't being graded. There is no examiner watching you with a clipboard. When you speak to someone, they just want to understand you. They aren't counting your mistakes. They aren't judging your accent. They want to communicate. That is all. Most people are kind. Most people are patient. Most people appreciate that you are trying to speak their language. They aren't your enemy. They aren't your judge. They're just another person trying to connect. Remember that. Speaking becomes easier when you see the other person as a friend, not an examiner. You already know enough words to speak. Think about how many words you know. 500? 1,000? 2,000? With 500 words, you can say almost anything in simple terms. You can say, I am hungry. I am tired. I am happy. I am sad. I want water. I need help. I like this movie. Where is my phone? What time is it? These are real sentences. These are useful sentences. These are sentences that native speakers say every day. You don't need 10,000 words to speak. You need the courage to use the words you already have. Here is a simple truth. The best way to speak better is to speak more. Not to study more grammar, not to memorize more vocabulary, not to listen to more podcasts. To speak. Speaking is a skill like riding a bicycle. You cannot learn to ride a bicycle by reading a book about bicycles. You cannot learn to ride by watching videos of bicycles. You learn by getting on the bicycle. You fall. You get up. You try again. You fall again. You get up again. Eventually, you ride. Speaking English is exactly the same. You cannot learn to speak by studying. You learn by speaking. So speak. Even badly, even slowly, even with mistakes. Speak anyway. Many learners worry about their accent. They think their accent is bad. They think they need to sound like an American or a British person. You don't. Your accent is part of you. Your accent tells the story of where you come from. That is beautiful. Don't try to erase your accent. Just make sure people can understand you. Accent is fine. Unclear sounds are not. So focus on being clear, not on sounding native. When you stop trying to sound like someone else, speaking becomes much easier. You can just be yourself in English. Another easy way to speak English is to use short sentences. Many learners try to make long, complicated sentences. They want to sound impressive. They want to show off their grammar. This is a mistake. Long sentences are hard to say. Long sentences are hard to understand. Native speakers use short sentences most of the time. I like coffee. Let's go. See you later. That was good. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. Short sentences are easy to say. Short sentences are easy to understand. Short sentences build confidence. So stop trying to be impressive. Start trying to be clear. Short and clear is beautiful. Don't be afraid of silence. In a conversation, small pauses are normal. You don't need to fill every second with words. If you need a moment to think, take a moment. Say, let me think, or say, or say, well. These little sounds tell the other person that you are still in the conversation. They aren't silence. They are thinking sounds. Use them. They give your brain time to find the next word. They make speaking easier because you don't have to rush. Slow down. Breathe. Take your time. Speed isn't fluency. Smoothness is fluency. Here is a powerful technique. Use the same sentences again and again. You don't need a new sentence every time. Native speakers repeat the same phrases every day. How are you? I'm fine, thanks. What do you do? I work at a bank. How was your weekend? It was good, thanks. These are patterns. Learn the patterns. Use the patterns. When you need to say something, don't create a new sentence from nothing. Pull a pattern from your memory. Change one word. That is easy. That is how native speakers do it. They don't invent new sentences. They adapt old ones. Your mouth is a muscle. Muscles need exercise. If you don't speak, your mouth muscles don't learn. They stay weak. Speaking feels hard because your mouth isn't trained. The solution isn't more grammar. The solution is more mouth exercise. Say words out loud. Say sentences out loud. Read out loud. Repeat after videos. Your mouth needs to feel the movements. Your tongue needs to learn the positions. Your lips need to learn the shapes. This is physical practice. This is easy. You can do it alone. You can do it anywhere. You can do it for 5 minutes a day. Your mouth will thank you. Stop asking yourself, what if I make a mistake? Start asking yourself, what if I never try? The mistake is temporary. You can correct it. You can learn from it. But the regret of not trying stays with you. The regret of staying silent. The regret of not speaking when you had the chance. That regret is worse than any mistake. So make the mistake. Say the wrong word. Use the wrong grammar. Have someone correct you. That is how you learn. That is how you grow. That is how you move from silence to speaking. Finally, remember this. You don't need to be fluent to speak. You don't need to be advanced to speak. You don't need to be perfect to speak. You just need to speak. 1 word, hello. That is speaking. 2 words, thank you. That is speaking. 3 words, I need help. That is speaking. Every word you say is a victory. Every sentence you try is progress. Every conversation you survive makes you stronger. Speaking English isn't a mountain you need to climb. It is a path you walk, 1 step at a time, 1 word at a time. And you can take the first step right now. Thank you for listening to Time to Listen English channel. My name is Johnson. Speaking English is easy, not because the language is simple, because you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to wait. You don't need to be ready. You just need to start. Open your mouth. Say 1 word. Say it now. Hello. You just spoke English. That was easy, wasn't it? Now say another word, tomorrow, and another the day after. Small steps, easy steps. That is the easy way to speak English. Take care of yourself, keep speaking, and I will see you again in the next listening practice. Goodbye.